Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review for tonight's match review of Newcastle 3, Villa 0. Lots to talk about from that game, and of course, across the Premier League as well. Man United fans are in pieces. The devastation at Mousechester United is just, it's crumbling all around them. The stadium's leaking. They've got a mouse problem. They've got a team problem. They've got a massive problem at the minute. But we will come on to all of that. If you do enjoy tonight's show, hit that thumbs up, guys. And of course, if you're new and like what you see, we are heading towards 35,000 subscribers now. So please do hit that subscribe button. And of course, you can support the channel in the usual two ways. First of all, via membership, which is the join button just underneath the three of us. And super chats are also available, which is the $ under the live chat. And that guarantees your comment to be read out on the show as well. And of course, a massive thank you to our sponsors, Mamaroo Records, based in Whitley Bay, of course, right in the town centre. If you're kicking around, have a look in. See Steve mention you're a TTR customer and a viewer, and I'm sure he'll do you a very good deal. All your vinyl, your CDs, music merchandise, sporting merchandise, gift cards, it's all there. But if you can't get into Whitley Bay, into the shop, then they are online as well, and that is pinned at the top of the description. Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, good evening to the Magpie Massive and all those out there in Viewerland.
Alex recovered from his illness. Billy's recovered. I've recovered, sort of. We're all ready to go again for the trip to, of course, Old Trafford. But yesterday was a very good performance, Alex. And, another 3 points in the bag. Yeah, we had a little bit of help with the sending off, but it's never as easy as that against 10 men. We still had to play some great football, score some good goals, and it could have been a lot more.
Oh, it certainly could have. I think we had the ball in the back of the net 5 times. Chances where it was sort of fumbling off the crossbar. They were on the ropes several times in that game. They floodgates nearly opened. They managed to stop the blood flow from seeping out of that gaping wound. It could have got real nasty. Could have got real nasty for Aston Villa yesterday. That's the best way of describing it. There were several moments where we could have overrun them.
Yeah.
Fair enough that they were playing okay up until the red card. I still think we were playing the better of the two sides, and we were 1-0 up. So I still think the red card. Fine, you think of it what you will. I still think we were the better team on the day. Still think we were definitely good for the 3 points, regardless of that. And yeah, they couldn't handle us. We've played ourselves into form. All of our key players are happy, confident, purring, and we went into that game and they couldn't handle us.
Now, Billy, there's been a lot of controversy, of course, certainly regarding the sending off. There was then the Rodgers incident, which, to be fair, Bruno and Rodgers had a big handshake and a bit of a sort of hug at the end, and everything was forgotten with that. But of course, the dressing room goings on, the tunnel goings on as well. But if we look at the start that we made, Billy, it was extremely quick. It just, again, as we did in the previous game, we went at them straight away. Lovely break from Joelinton, knocked at Anthony Gordon. A lot of people have mentioned, obviously, the overlap from Lewis Hall, which pulled Matty Cash further out, which enabled Gordon to cut in, and an absolutely beautiful shot into the top corner.
Well, even before that, it was Sandro Tonali that won the ball in the middle of the park.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Off Kamara.
Yeah.
And then laid it through for Joelinton. But yeah, Villa weren't expecting that. I thought the midfield was where the game was won yesterday. I thought R3 dominated there, 3/5. And and the ball from Joelinton was perfectly timed. Great cut in and a great goal. A fantastic finish. And even though they've got the best goalkeeper in the world in their nets, got nowhere near it, did he?
No, he didn't get anywhere near it. And the replay proved that, really. It just flew over his hand. But then we went into a little bit of a difficult spell, Alex, between the sort of 10th and 20th minute. We were a little bit scrappy on the ball. We gave it away a bit. We let Villa come back into it. And then, of course, there was the sending off. Now, I was staggered by certain pundits, and especially Match of the Day, all of them saying that they didn't think it was a sending off. Where do you stand on it?
I think it's difficult. I think there's a lot of people throwing in their 2 cents, and it's hard to know what the intention was. Everybody seems to disagree. I mean, I would probably say my opinion would be: is there a chance he can not stand on Fabian's chair, whether it was the left foot or the right foot, even without the left foot buckling? Probably yes. I think that's anytime you do something like that on a football pitch nowadays, you're going to get red carded. I think he could have avoided it. But I can see why people are maybe doing some mental gymnastics against it. Was the left foot on share? Was it intended to be on share? And then after it rolled, could he have then avoided the right foot? And I think it's far too complicated to not give a red. I think you're really clutching at straws, trying to say he didn't mean the left, he didn't mean the right. It's so hard to justify not giving a red. I think it's far more likely that it is a red just to give the red. So
yeah.
There's arguments for both sides, but I think probably a red is the right call.
Well, Dermot Gallagher said on Sky it was a red. He very rarely sort of goes with us on decisions, so that's
it's more the case. He never goes against the referee. Basically,
very true. But I think, and I said it yesterday in the commentary of the game, Billy, that I think he was sent off for the one that not necessarily the first one, but the one that caught Share in the head, because that for me was unforgivable and can be avoided. If he sort of his left foot sort of buckled and then he sort of trod on Share with his right foot on his backside, but then the kick to the back of the head. I think that's the one Anthony Taylor spotted last and gave him the red card for. And I think, judging by what Clattenburg had to say and what VAR had to say, that's the one that he was sent off for initially. So there's no need to make that challenge. The ball's gone out to play. Just get up and get on with the game. But he didn't. He didn't like the challenge on him. He took the huff and he ended up seeing red and got punished for it.
Well, we spoke about this the last game. It wasn't in the Villa game. It was one before the Leicester game where, you know when you've got a player beneath you, where you put your feet. You know exactly where to put. I mean, if you can avoid them if you want. I don't care about the left ankle buckling. You can put your feet either side of the body. Well, more to the right hand side. His right hand side, wouldn't it? And I think he knew. I don't think the first one is. I think the first one is part of the tackle. The second one, though, is definitely deliberate, and it's a red card for me all day, every day. And for the Villa fans and the pundits saying, and Unai Emery especially saying he didn't give himself enough time, he gave himself 30 to 45 seconds, Taylor did. He didn't go steaming in. No, he didn't. He took his time, and he made a decision that was based on what time he gave himself.
And that doesn't matter either, because VAR looked at it and agreed with the referee's decision. So it doesn't matter how long Anthony Taylor took to make the decision. Paul Joelinton, thank you for your super chat. Tonali was superb again, lads. We have a very special player on our hands. We do. Alex wants to do a little bit on him a bit later on, so stay tuned for that, guys. But then we had the incident with Joelinton, Alex, and obviously Rodgers. Who, by the way, I said this in the earlier video I did today, I think is a fantastic footballer, by the way. Villa have got a hell of a player in him. But he let himself down yesterday. Obviously, scrappy with Joelinton. Joelinton pulling his shirt, which he got booked for. But then Joelinton's hand is nowhere near the face of Rodgers, and he goes down grabbing his face, Alex. That is something that he should be punished for, as Kyle Walker should have been punished for the week before for his stupid little dive with Rasmus Højlund as well.
That is where that's what happens when you've got Martinez in your team. That's what happens when you've got Argentinian leaders in a squad. It's disgusting behavior like that. It's just gross. It's gross. There's no need for it in football. I don't even think it's a foul from Joelinton at all. I think that you're well within your rights to put your arms across like that to guard and to block. He's trying to get him sent off. I think the nature of what he was trying to do, he deserves a booking for it. And the simulation on top of that, the rolling around, it almost reminded me of the Rivaldo incident where he got kicked in the knee and he held his face. And
the ball hit him in the nut. The ball hit him in the nuts.
It reminded me of that. Yeah. So just pretending like it had got you in the face, rolling around on the floor, the pure simulation, the fact he was trying to get someone else in trouble to try and level the game up. It is premeditated cheating. And he deserved. John McGinn should have picked him up by the scruff of the neck, said, get on with the game. We need to get back into this game. This is not the way to do it. Should be disgraced. Absolutely
embarrassing.
Yeah,
John McGinn's never going to do that. John McGinn was too busy trying to referee the game, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Well, it was pathetic. It was pathetic, and I don't think Joelinton deserved a yellow. I don't even think it was a foul for him. I think Rodgers deserves all the punishment for that, and it's just disgusting to see that from a young player. We don't want to see that. We don't play like Argentinians, not in this league.
Here we go again. Paul, are you still wanting Eddie Howe sacked?
Paul was never in the Howe out camp, Steve-O.
I've never wanted Eddie Howe sacked. Those words have never come out of my mouth. And by the way, can I just say that some of the comments I had on yesterday's Matchday Live were absolutely ludicrous. Sam obviously stated at the end of the match she's still in the Howe out position at the moment, right? Now, I'm not going to argue with her. That's her choice. But she backed up why she still thinks like that. And that's fair enough. She also said that could change over the next few matches. No problem at all. People are either happy with the manager or they think we could do better with another manager. That is fine. I'm not bothered. Okay. But when I get people leaving comments like saying, oh, Billy and Sam should be sacked from the channel because they have an opinion on Eddie Howe that doesn't agree with you, is a little bit pathetic. And then people saying, oh, the credibility of the channel's been lost completely because you've got colleagues who want Eddie Howe out. What an absolute load of bullshit. And what kind of lives do you guys lead when you want me to fire some people on here because they have a different opinion of Eddie Howe to you? Absolute mental.
I was one of the few. I was one of the few in the in camp during that horrible run. I was the only one of the four of us that had both feet in. So I got pelters for that as well. And now that's completely flipped. So it just depends on where the storm is this week.
Yeah, you know what? I've been critical of Eddie Howe. I will openly admit that, but I've never stated that I want Eddie Howe to be sacked. Never once. So you've made yourself look an arse there, just like the other people who have asked to sack my colleagues because they have an opinion on Eddie Howe. That's the whole point of a football channel. You're not going to have all of your colleagues agreeing with each other. You guys viewing don't agree with each other. So to say the one people sacked is absolutely ludicrous and the credibility of your channel's being lost. Give hour and sort yourselves out. It's
by design. By design, we're all really Eddie in. Because if Eddie out, that means we're losing games left after right, week after week. We all want Newcastle to win every game possible. So by design, we're all really Eddie in.
Exactly. And the fact is, Sam backed our comments up brilliantly yesterday, saying that it's still fantastic that we're going to get, we're winning games. All she said was she wants to see performances against the likes of Villa, Man United, Tottenham, the games that are coming up. And if we're under any pressure, how does Eddie handle that during his in-game management, which has been the problem with Eddie for a while? His in-game management just needed addressing, and has he learned from his mistakes? If he has, no problem. And Sam addressed it perfectly. No, it wasn't. But the thing is, Alex, she's very, very valid of that opinion because she backed it up, right? And she wants Eddie Howe to succeed, but at the present time, she just doesn't think he's the man for the job, and that's perfectly fair. You know what I mean? There's no problem with feeling like that.
It was very difficult for people in that moment to stay as an Eddie Howe in, or at least 100%. And I tried to explain the situation as best I could, even though I hated a lot of the issues, like the timings of substitutions, the in-game management when we were behind in the final 30 minutes of games. All of that was really poor, in my opinion. I think we could have improved significantly. But then I was trying to look at the other side of the coin of, we put 2 XG past Everton, 2 XG up against Brighton, and we didn't win either of those games. And I think we really should have done. And then when you factor in individual mistakes from players like Fabian Schär and our top stars going through really rough periods in Bruno, Gordon not scoring, Isak obviously now is in form, but wasn't at that time. We couldn't hit a barn door. And not using Jacob Murphy. I think he was done with the Jacob Murphy Miggy on the right project, and he wanted to evolve and do something else, and it didn't work. So he's had to go back to roots and bring in a more balanced right winger. And there was a lot of positives there in the underlying numbers in terms of our chance creation and things like that. We were looking okay. It was just individual mistakes, and we couldn't hit a barn door. And all of a sudden, all of our Christmases have come at once. and it's happened again. It's 4-0, 3-0, 4-0. We're just absolutely caning people. As long as the underlying numbers are there, there's always hope, which is why I was still always in the in. But once those are in the bin, then there's cause for concern.
Yeah, Loris is there. I don't think he's the man long term, but I'm happy to be proved wrong, which is exactly the kind of thing that Sam said last night. Just crazy.
And it was difficult because some of the performances were poor as well as the results, and it's hard when it goes on for a little while. I wasn't sure that Howe was going to get to January. If we lost an extended run of games and we were out of the cup, it could have been sweaty for him. So, but the underlying numbers were always good, and they've managed to. Unfortunately for us, we've had Isak, Gordon, Murphy, Tonali, Bruno all hit form at the same time.
Yeah.
Fabian Schär's packed in his absolute nonsense as well, which has helped because he was a big problem, specifically just him. He deserved calling out for some of his shenanigans. He's lost us 4 or 5 points this season on his own. So cutting his shit out has been really important.
Kari, thank you for being a member on the channel for 35 months. Much appreciated, my friend. Billy is my hero. He is a legend. He says what he means, a true Viking Geordie.
Checked on his way, Kari. Checked on his way.
I mean, Jesus. Dean says, well said, Paul. It's great that opposing views are heard on this channel. Yeah, we're not going to bullshit anybody. We never have, and we never will.
But it's no coincidence to me that now he's played his best 11 in their rightful positions that we're getting results like this. Simple and straightforward as that for me.
Yeah, but listen, half-time yesterday, Billy. We didn't see it on TV. Of course, we only heard about it after the fact that Jason Tyndall given a red card. Now, I did a video earlier on today explaining what Eddie Howe had to say in it, and that was sort of 18 to 20 man kerfuffle in the tunnel, and it seemed like there was 2 men at the heart of it, with everybody else trying to split them up. And it seems like obviously one of them was Jason Tyndall. He was red carded. Eddie doesn't know yet why he was red carded. He's waiting for somebody to tell him and what the charge will actually be. Apparently, Jason Tyndall called Unai Emery Dracula or something of those lines. There was spat going on before the whistle blew, and then obviously it continued in the tunnel. Well, I mean, if somebody called me bloody Dracula, I'd love it, because I've watched loads of vampire stuff in the past.
I mean, he does look a little bit like Dracula. It's not, if he was effing and jeffing and getting it personal with family.
Yeah. It wouldn't be something to blow you up like that, would
Dracula?
Come on,
really?
And he shushed him as well, didn't he? First half, he
shushed him. He's done that loads this season, though, hasn't he? Shushed the opposition.
That's his role in the club. He's the bouncer, isn't he? It's simple as that. That's one of his roles. One of their staff was sent off also. Why isn't there the cover about that? I think it might have been Bjorn Borg that got sent off.
I think it was Bjorn Borg, because I didn't see him in the second half.
In the second half, absolutely. So why hasn't anyone said about that? I mean, to Aston Villa supporters, I've watched a few of their podcasts today. Jason Tyndall's public enemy number one. And woe betide what's going to happen to him at Villa Park and going to them.
Yeah. I mean, it's like they put a bounty on his head for the game at Villa Park, and I'm like, oh, hey, listen,
they didn't even see the inside of the tunnel. I don't even know what they're on about.
But you could send 20 Rottweilers at Jason Tyndall, and he scared a lot of the fuckers away. So do what you want. But listen, to give Villa fans some credit, I have seen a few Villa fans today, podcasts on social media as well, agreeing with the sending off. So, again, that's where it all boils down to, is opinions. Even some of the Villa fans thought it was a sending off. Some didn't. It's just one of those things. But second half, I mean, we absolutely blew them away, didn't we? To be fair, we brilliant goal again from Isak. Well worked again on the right-hand side. Good ball in from Murphy. To be honest, I still don't know why Bruno's goal was disallowed. Just crazy rules. And then a brilliant finish, Alex, by Joelinton to top it off.
What, are we talking first or second half?
Second half, mate.
Oh, yeah, second half with the Joelinton goal. Yeah, second half, we did turn the screw a little bit. 13 shots, 1.96 XG, 64% of the ball. Villa got really tired towards the end of it. Basically, it was Onana's display of fatigue that got Joelinton his goal. And Joelinton, despite playing the same amount of minutes, robbed him, marauding run forwards, absolute thunderbolt top bins. with a bit of curl on it. Just night and day different. And even the Villa fans were kind of comparing the midfield of the day. The Villa midfield, really, really good midfield. You know, Kamara, absolutely fantastic pickup by them. Tielemans, FA Cup winner, fantastic player. He's, you know, wonder kid, been around since he was 16 years old in Belgium. They're all great players. Onana, physical monster. But we actually have one of the best midfields in the league when they're playing like that. And they couldn't contain it. But bar maybe a 15-minute spell in the first half where they were playing really nice first-time passes and keeping it, they couldn't handle the midfield at all. They just could not handle it physically. Yeah,
people are starting to call our midfield Brunali now, but now Joelinton's back. I mean, how do you get the three names in there?
Brunaliton.
Brunaliton or Joe Brunali? Brunaliton sounds like a good one as well. But, you know, when they're on fire, there's just no touching them. There is no touching them. Alex, you've got a little bit you want to do here on Tonali. Is that right?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Okay, go on then, take it away.
So it's essentially just a little thing by Sanjay, and obviously Sanjay's been absolutely pelted online for his stance of Tonali not being quite as optimal as a 6 in terms of being able to play with the ball under pressure. And I completely agree with him. I think all of the metrics have proved that. And he's been doing well in the 6 in recent weeks, albeit with so much. He's not had quite as much pressure on him in a lot of these games. Ipswich game, Leicester game, he's been completely left alone to his own devices. I mean, he doesn't play as a lone 6, may I add. I think Bruno is with him a lot of the time in build-up. And especially against Villa, he'd also got Trippier next to him as well. Trippier did a very selfless role in helping with build-up as well. So a lot of technicians there to kind of guide it out. Whereas Bruno, when Bruno's in the 6 on his own, tends to just get left to his own devices, and he's got to try and get it out himself on his own. And this is just a graphic that does kind of suggest that Tonali's got improvements to make. I mean, he did lose the ball for the Duran's red card for that kind of move breakaway. It was Sandro that lost the ball. So he's not infallible. There are improvements that can be made on this, albeit he's being fantastic in that position so far. But this graphic is the midfielders passing in the Premier League. Which midfielders passing in the Premier League is most negatively impacted by being under pressure. So the higher percentage is the drop off in completion rate when they're being pressured during those passes. And Tonali is one of the most affected in 4th with 5.2% drop off in passing accuracy whilst being pressured. Highest, which Sanjay actually points out in here, is Tielemans, because he's so technically good at that. It doesn't mean it's not something Tonali can improve on. Of course he can, but this is definitely something that is a thing with Tonali, where the people eye test, yeah, he's looking great at the moment. Fantastic. But when we're playing 45 games a season with him in that role, you will start to notice things. And as long as he keeps improving as he is, then there shouldn't be too much of an issue, and we're planning for it. And Bruno does often go and drop back a little bit and partner him. We can kind of prove that to a level with the average positions in the game as well, because you can see that Bruno and Tonali are basically joined at the hip, average position wise. Bruno does kind of help with build up if the needed. Trippier is up there as well. J7 goes on his own little runs with Gordon, and you can see where the balance is. So it's not that he can't play the 6. He absolutely can. It's just when people are talking about Bruno in the 6 is better at certain things, this is what they mean. It doesn't mean Bruno's perfect either, because Bruno sometimes faffs with the ball and loses it for different reasons, whereas Tonali is losing it sometimes through poor passes under pressure. So it is a thing. So let's not completely destroy anybody because they've not necessarily got a graphic to back up the eye test, but there is proof of it. But Tonali's still fantastic, of course.
Tonali is just outstanding. Let's be honest. He's just a dream to watch. Sam A, thank you very much for your super chat. Sandro is the best 6 on the planet. Agent Tech Stream says it's important to not panic when we next lose, though, but keep playing like that. We'll be fine. We need to make Man United we need to play Man United like a home game and play our own way. Derek Ward, thank you for your super chat. Gordon, what a goal. Happy New Year, lads and lady Sam. Thank you very much, Derek. Well, I mean, look, we're going to do the player ratings in a moment, but we do need to do the poll for player of the match, of course. So the three of us will pick a player, and then we will all combine for number 4. Billy, who are you going for?
I think I'll go for Joelinton.
Joelinton. Okay. Yeah. Alex?
Tempted to go for Bruno, you know.
That's up to you, my friend.
Maybe not. I'm going to go for Sandro again. I'll go for Sandro.
Sandro Tonali. Okay. I'm going for Anthony Gordon because I thought he was absolutely superb yesterday again. Right, we've got to combine for a 4th, guys.
I think Fabian Schär was outstanding yesterday.
He was, actually. He played really well. I think it's between him and Bruno to get the 4th one.
I don't know how Isak's not getting in this. But yeah, Schär had his best game, probably his best game of the season.
All right, well, we'll put Schär in, seeing as he hasn't been around for a while in these competitions. So there you go. Right, man of the match. And before anybody says who might be new watching, we can only literally put 4 players in. Otherwise, normally what we'd do is if we could put all the players in, we'd put them in. And there you go. We would put the whole team in and let you guys vote for the whole team. But there you go. The poll is now available. Who is your player of the match for yesterday? Is it Joelinton, Tonali, Gordon, or Schär? We will visit that at the end of the show. I'm interested to see what the viewers think tonight. Sam A has sent in another super chat saying, "Can we do a poll?" Well, we've done one, matey. It's all up there. Ian Wilson says, "We are so lucky at the Toon. 5 of our starters would get in any team. 6 when Sven is back, and Hall is not far from this conversation." Well, I think Hall's in there as well, to be quite honest with you. I think
Hall's one of the first, yeah.
Yeah, I think
well, I mean, which left back is better in the Premier League than Lewis Hall right now?
To me, there ain't any.
I mean, Andy Robertson's up there at Liverpool. He has to be.
No, he's been shocking this year. Shocking.
Dropped off.
Absolutely shocking, Paul.
Cucurella at Chelsea. Haven't got one.
Have you watched Liverpool this season? Robertson's been their worst player. He's doing whatever he did in that final season.
I'm just trying to pick one out. But, you know.
He's sent off twice, isn't
he? Yeah, he's really struggling, Paul.
I think Anthony Robinson at Fulham's a good player. Robinson's a good player. But there isn't much better. There certainly isn't much better than Lewis Hall. So, yeah. It's incredible, isn't it? The rise of Lewis Hall has been absolutely phenomenal. Really is phenomenal. By the way, everybody wondering when we're doing the Manchester United preview, that's going to be Sunday night, guys, at 7:00. It's really weird when I was doing the shows today, trying to think of what actual day it was today, because yesterday had a feeling of a Sunday for me. I don't know why, but it did. And then today I'm doing
many transfers to do as well.
We've got loads of transfers.
We need to do transfer shows soon because it's getting beyond me now. There's so many things to go through.
We'll definitely do a couple next week, Alex. I mean, we've got the preview, we've got the match day live, then we've got the review on the Tuesday. So I think Wednesday next week is definitely a transfer show. Definitely. So we'll definitely get one in then.
New Year's Day.
Why not? New Year's night, Billy. It's New Year's night, man. It's not New Year's Day. It's New Year's night.
We're going to go over January the 3rd. Never on January the 1st.
Well, good for you, Billy, but I won't be. And I don't think Alex. You can have a night off if you want. If you're too hungover.
If I'm too hungover, I shall do.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Right, let's do the player rating, shall we? And obviously take part in this in the chat, guys. Let's see what you guys think of our ratings and if you agree. Billy, we'll start with you as usual on Martin Dubravka.
Been really impressed with his distribution. I've been really impressed with how we've protected him. The one save I can remember yesterday. I think he should have done better with it. I think he should have played it out for a corner, but he'd got to it at least and played it away. I'll give him a 7. That little to do again.
7. Alex?
Yeah, I think a 7's fair. I don't quite know how with the pace of Burn and Share. I don't know how we're protecting him this much. I don't get it. It's however they're doing this, they deserve extra credit for it, the manager, because it's not really been stated enough. The issues we had with Dubravka at the back last year, and he's just completely mitigated it. Like the shot creation has just not been there. He's not had to deal with threats in the last like 3 or 4 matches, at all.
Yeah,
it's massive credit to the coaching staff and the tactical setup for this, because Dubravka's just able to sit there on a deck chair most of the match, and when he's called upon, he's good enough to make those sort of generic saves. And his distribution and playing with the ball as well is a lot better than Nick Pope's, considerably better. So it is nice having a little bit of build up, especially when he's got Fabian Schär, Bruno, Tonali, Trippier to kind of start with. Yeah, it's nice. He gets a 7. It was decent.
Well, I've given him an 8. I thought his distribution was excellent yesterday. His coming for crosses was excellent. I remember the save Billy's talking about. Yeah, maybe he should have pushed that out about a bit wider, but he made the save. Commanded his penalty area very well. I did not have a problem with Dubravka yesterday, and I've gone for an 8 because I think another clean sheet, he can't do any more than he's doing. So 8 for me. Kieran Trippier, Billy.
I thought he was rusty first half. I thought he was excellent second half till he ran out of steam.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, I don't know what the problem was with Trippier. Nobody seems to know.
Cramp, I think. It was cramp.
Yeah. When is the press conference for the Man United game, by the way?
I don't know. No clue. Saturday morning?
He didn't do it today, did he? So
maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, probably tomorrow, which means we'll have a reaction show for you. Alex, Kieran Trippier?
I'm going to give him a 7.5. I thought he was really good. I think a really selfless performance. I think he was cleaning up a lot of people's mistakes. There was a couple of mistakes from Jacob Murphy, a couple from Tonali, where Trippier took the foul, the free kick, had to go and mop up, basically. He wasn't there to take the plaudits for himself. I think it was a very, very selfless performance from him, and I think it's nice to see him nearly back to full fitness. So I thought it was fine. I think some people may be suggesting he wasn't quite spot on. I don't think he was able to quite play his typical game, but we got Lewis Hall to go and do what Trippier used to do. So Trippier was able to pull a few more strings, put out fires. Yeah, it was an experienced performance.
By the way, there is no press conference for the Man United game. Craig Hope's confirmed that, and a few people have said it as well. So, Lewis Hall, Billy.
Standard, fantastic performance from him. We used to call him a target. I've missed a 7 out of 10. Well, Lewis Hall's a 1.5 above that, and I'm going to give him a 9 for yesterday. But it was outstanding.
9. Okay. Alex?
Yeah, a 9, and even that feels like it's low for how good he's playing. 97% passing accuracy, 58 out of 60 passes is just
incredible.
We're getting to the point now where the consistency is so good. The word elite is going to start to be banded around. If he keeps this up for much longer, like we mentioned a few weeks ago, we get through to sort of late Feb, early March, and he's still been doing this for the last 2 months on the trot. Elite is definitely going to be the word. 9 out of 10. He's just so good.
Yeah, 9 for me as well. I just love watching the kid play, and I don't know whether you guys noticed this, but what I'm noticing now about Lewis Hall is he's not making panic mistakes. Like there's a few times yesterday that he was being closed in on by about 3 Villa players, and he just calmly stepped into a little bit of space, which enabled him to lay the ball off.
He's the opposite of on that graph of dealing with pressure, whether it's dribbling out of pressure or passing under pressure. He always makes the right choice. He's just fantastic.
Nick Thornton says, Dubes is showing why we need an upgrade on Pope. Well, I think if Dubravka keeps going the way he is, Nick Pope's going to find it difficult to get back in. Simple as that. If he keeps performing.
Well, once we buy some faster centre-halves as well, there might not be the need for quite as much of a nippy goalkeeper.
Yeah. Dan Burn, Billy?
Yeah, excellent again. Defensively solid. Quite a threat from corners as well. Give an 8.
8 for Dan Burn. Alex?
Yeah, deserves an 8 as well. Only misplaced 2 passes the entire match. 6 clearances. Only 3 out of 7 aerial duels, though. Don't know who he's losing these duels to.
Yeah, but that seems to be a reoccurrence, Alex, over a lot of weeks. That he seems to.
Yeah, well, it doesn't it's not always about height, timing, physicality. You know, Onana's
yeah, but he also puts off the guy who's
experience.
jumping for the ball, doesn't he? You know, and when he's making the challenge, he doesn't necessarily have to win the challenge as long as he puts the forward off, and then the forward doesn't get a decent header on it, or it just drops over them, and the keeper sweeps it up. So it's not all about winning that header, is it?
It's not. But I think he deserves a lot of praise for his for maintaining his technical level. I think he's been so careful with the ball recently. We've needed that, and he knows he's got Botman breathing down his neck very, very soon as well.
Yeah.
He's done a good job at kind of swatting off Lloyd Kelly as competition, but Botman is not Lloyd Kelly, so you know,
Definitely
Big Dan
not.
Burns going to have to keep putting in
Definitely
colossal
not.
performances to maintain his place.
Yep. I've gone 8.5. Really the same reasons as yourselves, but I just think Dan Burn he's become a sort of dependable centre back at the moment. He's not making many mistakes at all. He's clearing the ball. He's doing his job. And all you can do, and the fact that we kept a clean sheet as well, these guys, they've got to take some praise for that, because, you know, the clean sheets and the fact that Dubravka isn't having to make a lot of saves and we're still getting clean sheets says a lot about what's in front of Martin Dubravka. So I'm really pleased with Burn at the minute. Fabian Sherbilly.
Yeah, I thought he was back to his very best yesterday. The fact he managed to make that tackle on John Duran when he got sent off was fantastic. His passing was good. He joined the attack. He was very constructive. I'm going to give him a 9.5.
9.5. Alex.
I'm going to go for a 9. Yeah, probably his best performance of the season. 72 out of 76 passes, which is 95%, is brilliant. 6 out of 7 long balls. His passing range was considerably better.
Yeah.
He was popping up, being a little bit of a striker on occasions. He was back to his cheeky little best when making some offensive runs as well. Possibly could have got a cheeky little goal or an assist. He didn't, but and 6 out of 8 duels as well. But really good tackle, like Billy said, on Duran. 4 clearances. Just a bit of everything from Fabian. It was high technical quality, but experienced defensive contributions were really solid. No silly funny business. Yeah, it gets a 9. Best performance from Fabian so far this year. Well, this season.
I agree. I've gone for 9 as well. I think possibly a goal would have topped it off to a 10, but fantastic. And again, clean sheet. You know, the back four are performing really well at the moment, whether it's Livramento there or Trippier there. We are stopping goals going past us. Big tests could to come against Manchester United and against Tottenham. Let's see where we are. But at the moment, these guys are rock solid. Sandro Tonali, Billy?
Yeah, just giving the ball away once. I can remember the whole game. Apart from that, it was absolutely phenomenal. Everywhere, winning tackles, starting attacks, just perfect. I'll give him a 9.5 as well.
9.5. Alex?
I'm going to go for a 9.5 as well. Even though the time that he did lose the ball was when Duran nearly got through and Fabian Scher had to
but he didn't.
time a tackle perfectly.
But he didn't.
But yeah, just some of the offensive quality of Sandro is the reverse pass, the reverse no look, just round the corner, just disgusting. Just absolutely, it just levels above what anyone else in our team has got. Bruno plays some crazy stuff, but he plays different stuff to Sandro. Bruno will play little cheeky lofted ones with a bit of flair, whereas Sandro plays the majestic, slightly different ball that nobody else sees, the different kinds of quality. Just keeps things ticking in midfield. He's starting to get a really good understanding with Bruno. And quite often they will get out of pressure. They will get through the midfield together. And then Joelinton can just go on one of his runs because Bruno and Tonali will work the situation together. Trippier will get involved. Murphy's improving. retaining the ball to help with that kind of little trio build out.
Yeah.
And then Sandro's physicality to top it all. And he's one of the fastest players on the pitch, even though he doesn't look like he should be as fast. But when he gets going, he just matches anybody he's running against.
He's a beast. He's an absolute beast.
An absolute unit.
He is.
Yeah, 9.5. He's brilliant.
Well, it's a 10 from Len. I've gone with a 10. Simply superb. And I know he gave that ball away for the break for Durant, but he also won the ball for our first goal. Won the ball brilliantly, held off 2 Villa players before getting rid of the ball and putting us on the attack. I just think this guy is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He's made such a difference since coming into the team. And I can't wait to see him get even better and just grow, and especially our midfield just grow. Just fantastic to watch. The passing ability of the man is incredible. But he's not just a great passer of the ball. He loves the physical style as well. He loves getting stuck in. He's not afraid to put a foot in either.
I'll tell you what made him look better, Paul, is the 2 fullbacks, is the fact that it was... I know people love Tino, but Trippier is so much better at passing and build up. And the fact that Sandro could go left or right to go build up with a different fullback.
Well, I think our second goal proved that, Alex. Our second goal proved that. The way the triangle was on that side, you know, Tonali would step in, Bruno would step out and come a bit more central, and then Bruno would go back in, Tonali would come central, and then eventually Villa didn't know where to look. And
Bruno and Tonali can swap roles, and they can build up with either fullback. It's so strong. It's so balanced. I think we need to keep starting Trippier. As much as I love Tino, we look so good in build-up.
That bit of play that Tonali done on the left-hand flank where he had 3 men on him and he just went round them all 3.
Yeah.
I mean, just phenomenal. Come on. Okay, Bruno, Billy.
I'm going to give him the same as Tonali. I'm going to give him a 9.5. I thought it was bloody brilliant again.
Yeah.
Playing the best football of the season for him this year. People saying that he's not a captain. He leads by example every week for me. Outstanding, 9.5.
He's going for it now. Alex?
Yeah, 9.5. 4 out of 4 long balls, 4 key passes in the game. He only misplaced 2 passes all match. And he helped open the scoring with his eye of the needle pass out to the byline that got cut across. You know, that doesn't happen without Bruno. We needed the extra creativity. And Sandro's allowing Bruno to play those kinds of balls more often. And it's... he was enjoying his football. He really was. I felt really sorry for him that he got his goal disallowed because he had his arm in like this and it's come off his elbow. And obviously, for some reason, the rules
rule you ever want to see in your life. That, by the way,
it gets worse than that. Rules... If that ball rebounds out to Isaac and he taps it in, it's a goal.
Yeah,
no, it's not. It
is.
Touches...
Gallagher said today.
Yeah, it is.
That's not how the rules work unless they've changed it.
If it goes straight in off his hand, then they get to allow it. But if it goes someone else and it goes in, then they can allow it because he's not deliberately.
Well, they've changed that rule then because what it was is if it touches an attacker's hand in the build up to the goal, it's disallowed. But the problem is with that is the implication of the rule there is it doesn't work like that if it's a defender, but it does if it's an attacker.
No, it's the opposite rule of what each end of the pitch.
It's an inconsistent rule.
The new rule is as long as it's not deliberate, you can score afterwards. But if it goes straight in, it's disallowed. Even though it's not deliberate.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him because the passion of his celebration.
Yeah.
He was very up for scoring that goal. So
ridiculous rule. By the way, Brentford have taken the lead at the Amex. They lead 1-0 against Brighton. Vissa, the scorer, on just a quarter of the game gone, 15 minutes. Brentford ahead, but the VAR is checking that, I believe. So we'll wait and see what comes of that. But Brighton look like they're continuing their free fall. At the minute. 9.5 for me as well for Bruno. I just think outstanding again. Some of his little flicks and his passing ability is there for all to see. The goal is disallowed, so it's 0-0 at the Amex. I generally think watching Bruno, though, play a little bit further forward on Tonali, the two just link up so well together. It's a dream combination. And then you've got the powerhouse of Joelinton as well. It is a tremendous midfield, and this is what we were looking forward to. We said this many times on the show in the build-up to the season. Once Tonali was coming back, how much we were looking forward to seeing the three of them play. And there was still a lot of worry about whether Bruno and Tonali could play on the same side. I think that's well and truly being put to bed now. Yeah. Right, Joelinton, Billy.
I'm going to give him a 10. I thought it was absolutely superb. The physicality of him worked yesterday. because I think he totally strangled Onana, Kamara, Tielemans. And I said before the game, when the game gets tough, Tielemans usually gets going, and he went innocent yesterday. I think Joelinton was outstanding. 10 out of 10. Goal on the top as well. Brilliant.
Yeah, same for me. I've gone for a 10. I thought he was outstanding. Outstanding. The energy, just the way he got stuck in. He just demolished the Villa midfield. And when he's like that, it enables Bruno to just be so much better with his feet instead of having to work and try and win the ball back all the time. He's more attacking focused. I just think it's superb. Alex?
I kind of got to give him a 10 because I've given other people 9s and 9.5. I mean, he got a goal and an assist. I thought it was a similar performance to Tonali and Bruno, but I think that the goal at the end, the quality of the goal, because he could have scored that by just whipping a shot in and maybe getting it under Martinez, but he didn't. He put that top bins and he hit it sweet as a nut. It was a fantastic strike. Him as well. There's a theme in the team at the moment. He only misplaced 2 passes as well. It felt like most of them only missed 2 passes all game. They were very, very careful with the ball. Didn't win any ground duels, which was interesting, but still bossed them. 3 out of 4 in the air. 3 fouls, which I think was a bit harsh on him. But yeah, they really couldn't contain the midfield as a unit. They couldn't, and the stats do him dirty there because it doesn't really show you that nice little bit of space that he would gallop into, and all of a sudden Villa were terrified as you could see them all backpedaling. Because once Joelinton starts that little marauding run, they've all of a sudden got to keep an eye on Murphy, Isak, Gordon, and then Hall joining in, and then Joelinton's got the pick of the bunch there to go and ping the ball to someone. So yeah, I'll go with a 10 for Joelinton. Goal and an assist and a fantastic performance.
Okay. Keep voting for your player of the match, guys. It's pinned in the top of the description there or at the bottom, wherever it may be on your page. Please keep voting. Jacob Murphy, Billy.
I thought it was quiet first half, but he came into it second half. He's got his gamely assist. I'll give him an 8.5.
8.5. Just got a super chat in there from iRoper. Man of the match was the headlocked offer. 10 out of 10. How are the lads? The headlocked offer?
Otter. Headlocked Otter. Do you not remember?
Yeah, but it says offer on my screen, Billy.
Right, obviously, it's auto-corrected.
Yes. Jacob Murphy, Alex?
I'll go with an 8. Okay. Yeah, he was really good, really balanced. I feel sorry for him that he's not naturally left-footed, because I think if he was, he'd fit this glove like a team. 10 out of 10. And he's
fit
not
this glove like a team.
Fit this team like a glove. Did I say that?
All right, okay.
Everybody knows what I meant. It's fine anyway.
Well, okay.
He keeps getting in the same position every single match now, where you just want a left-footer to open their body up and just curl it top bins, and he can't do it. I'm sure he can do it in training, but doing it in a match condition in the Premier League is hard, and it's not working. And I just feel so sorry for him, because if he was left-footed, he'd be the guy. He would be the guy, and we wouldn't have to worry too much about a right winger. We'd still be buying one, but obviously it wouldn't be as much of an issue. But everything he does is still really important for the team. He got another assist, hit the crossbar, unlucky not to get involved in a goal himself. And he's worked so hard. And I think he's improved his ball retention and decision making defensively as well. There was a few situations when he would drop deep, sort of around our fullback, where he'd mess around with it a little bit, or he'd play a bad pass. He looks like he's starting to maybe improve that. So hopefully it keeps going.
I've gone for an 8 as well, but you know what impressed me most about Murphy? How many times, Billy, do we do commentary, right? And then we see Jacob Murphy have a poor first half, and then he's anonymous the second half. But he was quiet first half yesterday, but was absolutely brilliant in the second half. That's the difference in Murphy. I think we're seeing now that he's not, whether he's quiet first half, but he's still there and he's still creating opportunities. He's still. I mean, he should have scored yesterday, let's be fair. It was him that hit the crossbar. I think he should have scored. However, he's getting in them positions. I agree with Alex what he says about if he was just primarily left-footed, he'd be incredible. However, he's brilliant with his right foot as well. He's got a brilliant shot on him. His assists are just racking up day in, day out. Isak loves him. Isak absolutely loves him because he knows when Murphy gets to that byline, 9 out of 10 times, he is going to find Isak, whether it be a flick with the back heel, a cross, or he's going to drill it in. It doesn't matter. Isak knows that it's coming his way. So I think he loves playing with Murphy. Right. Anthony Gordon.
Third highest assists in the Premier League, apparently.
He has. He's flying at the minute. Absolutely flying. Right.
He's on like 10 goal contributions at least.
Let's save the money, shall we? And just...
let's not save the money.
I am joking.
Let's say well done, Jacob, but still buy another player.
But you are still a squad player, absolutely. Anthony Gordon, Billy.
I think I'll give him a 10 as well. He just had Matty Cash on toast for the whole game.
Yeah.
Fantastic goal. Work rate was outstanding. Ran his socks off. Even got a little bit of a rest at the end. Perfect day for him. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 from Len as well for me. Absolutely superb. The first goal. That's what we want to see. And how many times it was said he needs to be more clinical. Well, that was clinical. The times that he got to the byline, Matty Cash was just completely bamboozled constantly by Anthony Gordon. Didn't know if he was coming inside or going down the outside. But I think the whole Gordon combination now is really starting to come to fruition because Hall's runs that people don't necessarily notice are giving Anthony Gordon a bit more space to do what he did yesterday. And I think that's only going to go.
Well, Hall's average position was right behind Gordon.
Yeah, and, as it should be. It's tremendous. Alex?
I'm going to go for 9.5.
Oh.
But yeah, he was fantastic. The goal... He's been trying that. You can tell he's been getting really frustrated with himself as well.
Yeah.
He's tried that a lot in the last sort of 5 or 6 weeks. It's not coming off. And God, did he get that right. So that was a lot of relief you could see on his face. But he definitely, he ran his socks off yesterday. He was exhausted, especially at the end of the first half as well. But he definitely put himself about. 2 key passes in the game, 5 out of 5 long balls, a couple of accurate crosses. And I think Matty Cash was a very lucky boy to not get sent off in that game because he got absolutely run ragged. I mean, there was definitely a couple, maybe 2 or 3 fouls post yellow card, so he was very lucky to stay on the pitch.
I love Anthony Gordon's comments today, by the way. I don't know whether you've seen them, but he's promised Manchester United that the misery will continue on Monday. I love the fight and talk from Anthony Gordon. The pain will continue. Newcastle are not just turning up to turn Manchester United season around. They're going to pile on the misery. Come on, son, get in. Isak, Billy.
It's his weekly goal again, isn't it? It's just unbelievable. Scoring every week. Probably should have had another one. I'll give him a 9.
9. Alex?
Yeah, I think I'll go for a 9. I think 9.5 is. I think Gordon had a slightly better game in every area, but again, Alex wasn't far off. Alexander Isak the whole game was. It's just gotten so much better, and he's not faffing around trying to just be a 9, trying to win it like Chris Wood used to. He's. I don't know why he's just. It seems like a switch has just been turned by the coaching staff, and he's just playing a completely different game. Picking the ball up deeper, being involved in build-up, running the channels. But then sometimes when it's appropriate, when the ball has been worked out, he's in the 6-yard box every single time. None of this trying to dink it to the front post, back post. Nobody's there. It's your 9 is in the 6-yard box and he's getting goals from it all the time. It sounds obvious, but we weren't doing that. And now we are. Funnily enough, our striker's scoring a bucket load of goals. And so many shots again. And he scored a lot of worldies recently and missed a few tap-ins, but he had a nice solid game and he gets a 9.
Right, who was the first sub on yesterday? We made 3, didn't we? Barnes.
I can tell you. It was 78 minutes was Matt Targett, Harvey Barnes, Joe Willock.
Okay, Harvey Barnes, Billy.
Didn't really do a lot, did they? Let's be honest. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, you steady away. Didn't have to. I mean, the game was pretty dead then. Alex?
Yeah, he didn't have a lot of time to do much. He only touched the ball 5 times. He had 1 shot on target. Just give him a flat 7, I guess.
Yeah, 7 for me as well. Matt Target, Billy.
10. I thought he did okay. He's not a left. He's not a right back by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
made 1 nice tackle. Tried to join in with the attack. I'll give him a 7 as well.
7. Alex.
Yeah, I'll go for a 7, but I want to give him higher. Just the fact that he's back finally.
Well, you'd be pleased to know, Alex, I've given him an 8. I thought he was excellent on the right back position yesterday, and for the short time he was on, he did very well. I'm giving him an 8. Dan Robinson celebrating 13 months as a member on the channel. Thank you very much, Dan. Much appreciated, my friend. Joe Willock, Billy.
Again, same as Barnes. Tried to get into the game. Did a couple of nice little runs. I'll give him a 7.
7. Willock, Alex.
Yeah, same. Not enough time to really do much.
7. And for me, gets a 7 as well. Right. The other subs were too late to vote, by the way, because Sula came on and Miley came on in the dying seconds of the match. Dan has sent in a super chat as well. Thank you, Dan. I'm 12 minutes behind. Did anyone else spot Tonali's 400-mile-an-hour defensive run?
Which one?
He made a few. But I'm not sure which one you're talking about there, Dan, but he made quite a few. Right, Eddie Howe, Billy.
Well, it must be easy for him at the minute, managing this Newcastle United side. He's doing everything perfectly well. He's playing plays in the oppositions, and he's getting the rewards for it.
Yeah.
He's totally outcoached Emery yesterday. He seems to have a bit of a hood on him at the moment. The press was fantastic and contributed to Villa giving the ball away so many times in their own penalty box. Unbelievable. No, you can only give him a 10. You can only give him a 10 for yesterday's performance.
I've given him a 10 as well. And I'll tell you what, despite that idiot earlier on saying he still want Eddie Howe out, I think he's doing really well. What I like about Eddie Howe at the minute is he's not tinkering with the lineup unless he has to. He's giving players an opportunity. He's giving the first 11 time to gel, and he's doing brilliantly with it. Absolutely brilliantly with it. The players are responding to Eddie as well, which is all great to see, because they took a lot of criticism earlier, just a few weeks ago. We said, are the players playing for Eddie, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's all put to bed now, in my opinion. Yes, there's going to be defeats. We're not going to win every single game for the rest of the season. If we did, that would be remarkable. However, we know that there's going to be certain games that we unfortunately don't perform, and that's just football. But for me, what I really hate is at the minute when we win, right? You get everybody coming out going, "Oh, where's the Eddie out haters?" All of this, and then when we lose, where's the Eddie in people? What does it fucking matter, right? It doesn't matter. If you've got an opinion, keep it that way, But it's all about Newcastle United, right? And celebrate a victory. We're all fans of the football club. We all want to win. So if we do win, let's just enjoy the victory instead of having go at different Newcastle United fans saying, "Oh, where are you? Where are you?" Just enjoy the win, man. We're all Newcastle fans. It doesn't matter. All the people that are already out will still want Newcastle to win because they're fans of the football club. So when we win, let's just enjoy it. Alex, Eddie Howe.
I've forgotten we're still on that bit. Yeah, 10. 10, fantastic.
10. Yeah.
All of the tactical tinkering, everything's been so much better. The balance between the defenders and the goalkeeper, the midfield link up, Bruno and Tonali's understanding of coming and going and supporting each other, the fullback balance, Joelinton playing a slightly better role, Murphy just being in the team and getting a tune out of him. It's just brilliant.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Absolutely. Right, let's take a look at the Man of the Match award for the viewers before we finish the show.
Can I just before you get to the poll, guys? Before you get to the poll, just because I know we've got a lot of people from other clubs watching this channel as well. We've had a lot of casuals winding people up. over the Christmas period. I've seen on social media, in WhatsApp groups and all kinds of things. And I think other fans are getting a little bit nervous because we're 11 goals scored. 0 goals conceded in the last 3 fixtures. We're getting to that time of the season where we're steamrolling everyone, and absolutely nobody in the league wants to play us.
Yes,
so it doesn't matter what you won in 2004. It doesn't matter what shiny pot you won in 2012. Nobody cares because we're coming for all of you, whether you're Man United, Spurs, Arsenal, even Bromley, poor little Bromley. We don't care. We're ready to literally overrun everybody. So, and then we get a nice little run of form against. We get Wolves at home, Bournemouth at home. Once we've done that little spell. So,
well, Bournemouth aren't going to be easy. Bournemouth are
on.
playing really well. Bournemouth are a good side.
So are we.
Well, yes, we are. We are. That's a very positive vibes coming from Alex there, isn't it? Very Delia Smith indeed.
There's been a lot of Red Cartel and Big Six just absolute gobbing off over Christmas. A lot of people with alcohol, a lot of people just chatting absolute nonsense who watch Match of the Day once a week and haven't got a clue what they're talking about. And it's
Poggerland.
Good luck. We might not win all of these fixtures, but you're not. I can see that they're getting a bit nervous with how we're playing. So let's have it.
Yes, Brunarlyton are coming for you. Brunarlyton are coming, aren't they, Billy?
They are indeed. And they're impossible to stop.
Yep. Come on. We're flying at the minute. Let's enjoy it. There you go, guys. That is the match review.
Poll.
I thought I'd done it before Alex rudely interrupted me. I mean, he complains when I do that to him.
I've been ill for a few shows. I've got things to make up for.
Absolutely. Right, who do we think's won it, guys?
Who was in it? Can't remember. Tonali, Gordon.
Tonali, Gordon, and Cher.
And Joelinton.
You go for Joelinton, Billy? What percentage?
42.
Alex?
I'm going to go with Fabian Cher. I'll go with...
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I think people are going to vote Joelinton. I think Billy's probably right. God, I'll be a turncoat. I'll go with Joelinton. I reckon people are going to vote Joelinton. Just because he scored the goal at the end and he's a Charles, people are going to vote for him.
The man of the match is Sandro Tonali, according to our viewers.
Ooh.
55% of the votes for Tonali. Joelinton was second with 22%. Anthony Gordon with 19% and Fabian Cher with 4%.
It's that reverse pass from Tonali. It was absolute filth.
Yeah. Well, yes, I'd agree with that. It was filth. But there you go. Sandro Tonali is the viewers' man of the match. So
should have put
well
Jason
done.
Pindle in the poll.
Well, some Newcastle fans have called him absolutely stupid, to be honest, today. But hey, each to their own. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. That is it for the show. Thank you for your super chats and memberships. And, of course, mods, you've done brilliantly again. And to Alex and Billy. But a massive thank you to you guys. Fantastic viewing figures again tonight for the show. So thank you for spending an hour or so with us on this Friday evening. Like I say, next live show to be booked in is Sunday night, 7 o'clock is the Manchester United preview. And then, Monday night at 7:30 is Match Day Live. Full commentary of the game from Mouse Trafford. And that will be with me and Billy, of course, again. We start at 7:30 with an 8 o'clock kickoff in that game. So listen, guys, if there's any news to bring you, you know you'll get the news shows as well. So thank you very much for watching. Have a fab weekend, and we'll see you very soon. Good night.
Away the lads and lasses.
Come back and check out some green.